guys, my name is Crystal. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Welcome old subscribers, welcome new. If you like my videos, please press the like button and please do subscribe. It's Thursday morning here in Rochester, Kent. Alexa, good morning.
Good morning. On this day in 1872, the first FA Cup final took place at the Kennington Oval. A crowd of 2,000 watched the Wanderers beat the Royal Engineers 1-0. Morton Betts scored the winning goal, and as there was no VAR back then to rule it out, the goal stood.
Alexa, what's the time please?
The time is 8:12 a.m.
Alexa, what's the date today?
Today is Thursday the 16th of March.
Alexa, what is the weather like?
Right now in Rochester, it's 9 degrees Celsius with cloudy skies. Throughout the day, you can expect more of the same, with a high of 13 degrees and a low of 9 degrees. Would you also like the current humidity?
Yes.
Currently, the humidity is 91%.
Right guys, so it's Mother's Day on Sunday. Don't forget your mums, and also let's not forget the mums that have passed away, which we will never forget, because some people haven't got a mum either. Some people lost their mums when they were young, or they've lost their elderly mothers. So let's not forget the departed mums that helped bring us up, look after us, etc. Right, so it's Thursday. The weather is dank and dreary. It's depressing. Can be depressing for the elderly, it can be depressing for the vulnerable, it can be depressing for the depressed. Right, so I have got up around 8 o'clock-ish after going out yesterday. I didn't have a really great shopping experience. The day before I went out, I was sat round my mum's, and my mum, I don't know whether she's deliberately acting strange and she's deliberately dressing the way she does, and she kept saying to me, "You're not Jennifer, are you, Genestra?" I said, "Mum, no, I'm not you. You're you. And why would I want to be someone who is 22 years older than myself? I mean, this is all I get when I go round there. You're not Jennifer, are you?" This started when I came down to Chatham in 2008. My mum had people looking after her. She had a mental health team, and she had people looking after her, and apparently people that are mentally ill can say to workers that they don't want them anymore. So that's what my mum did. She sent her workers packing. She said she didn't want them anymore. I have never had a mental health team. I have never been deemed so mentally ill I've had to be put into hospital for 3 weeks. My mother, when I was young, and she gave birth to my sister in 1975, Jennifer was classed as schizophrenic. Whether she was, whether she wasn't my decision to make, so I don't know. When my mum was in Maudsley Hospital, she was in mental hospitals, I was a kid, a child. I remember going to visit my mother Jennifer in mental hospitals, right? Whether she was or whether she wasn't, I don't know, because she keeps telling me she's not mentally ill. I was tangled up in a web of lies, deceit, cover-ups, and I wasn't mentally ill. was in Gloucestershire and I had a battle with my ex-husband for my children, he tried to convince me I was mad, mental, and I wasn't. Whether these were real social workers that came out, real people that were trying to help me, I don't think so. I was frightened, I was alone, I was pregnant with my fourth child, and I was being called Jenny, and that is my mum Jennifer's name. So they would put Jenny on my medical notes, Jenny on my domestic violence notes, all over my domestic violence notes, Jenny, because Genestra was shortened to Jenny by my ex-husband and by my domestic violence workers. So can you try and understand where I'm coming from? My mother's name is Jennifer, shortened to Jenny, and what they did in Gloucester was shorten Genestra to Jenny. Now do you see how things are getting mixed up? And how they were mixed up, and I nearly lost my life due to being given the wrong medication. Heavy schizophrenic medication, and I was not schizophrenic. I suffered, I don't know what it was. I ate something, whether it was an allergy, whatever it was, I ate something in one of my properties and I collapsed on the floor unable to breathe. Whether it was anaphylactic shock or I'd swallowed something that was poisonous, I don't know. So I rang the doctors. There was an out of hours number. I rang it. They told me to go to the Gloucestershire Royal Hospital, the out of hours surgery, which I did, pushing my 2.5-year-old in the pram. It was just me and my little baby. Pushed the baby to the out of hours doctors. Gets in there, and there's one of the mothers with one of the school children I recognised from the school I took my kids to, walking up and down. He's got his leg in plaster. I can't breathe, I'm panicking, I'm pacing up and down with my baby. Finally, this female doctor, I'm told to go and see this female doctor. I am suffering from something I've swallowed, which has poisoned the back of my throat. My tongue is swollen up. I've got blisters on the back of my throat and tongue. What do they treat me for? What do they treat me for? A mental health illness. And they give me diazepam, which puts you to sleep. And I had a little baby to look after. They gave me diazepam. They didn't give me anything for poisoning. They gave me diazepam, and they didn't listen to anything else. And that has happened down in Kent as well. I went several times to the doctors, not being listened to, being fobbed off and given mental health, trying to give me mental health medication, until one nurse listened to me. She actually listened to me. She said, "You're not being taken seriously." I goes, "I know, and I'm not mentally ill. Not in that way." Dangerous. I could have been killed. And they keep still covering it up when I go into shops. When I go anywhere. My mum is deliberately dressing dowdy, and sometimes she does look dirty. Is she doing it deliberately? Do you know what it feels like when you go out dressed in a nice dress or a nice suit and you look your best and you've just had a fucking shower, and I get what I had yesterday? Oh, it smells. Smells. Oh, it's a drag. It's drag. It's a man dressed up as a woman. A drag. All done to provoke and cause me to get cross, so I act like my mad mother. I'm not saying she's mad, but every time I go around there, you're not Jennifer, are you, Genestra? No, I'm not, Jennifer, no. I'm not Jennifer. I never said I was. Do you know what it feels like? And maybe this is a good thing. You know, Jeremy Hunt with the government wants people over 50 to go to work. The disabled, get them back to work. The over 50s, get them back to work. I'm 54, I've been through a lot. And they want to get the over 50s back to work. Right? Maybe it is a good thing. But at least you see I'm not a 77-year-old woman, because you wouldn't be sending a 77 schizophrenic old lady back to work, would you? Would you? Would you? I've had to live like this since 2008. Massive cover-up. Massive. I want compensation. I want an apology. And if I am sent back to work and I collapse in the workplace, I want even more compensation. I think it's absolutely cruel and nasty. Gary Lineker was absolutely right with what he said, but not just about the boat people, about how people are being treated in this country. Shouldn't you be trying to help young people get into work, have decent jobs, get their first home, then concentrating on getting older, disabled people back to work? And Jeremy Hunt's fifth. Alexa, how old is Jeremy Hunt?
According to an Alexa Answers contributor, Jeremy Hutchins is 19 years old as of 2022.
Alexa, don't be stupid. Alexa, who's Jeremy Hunt?
Jeremy Richard Strachan Hunt is a British politician who has served as Chancellor of the Exchequer since the 14th of October 2022. He previously served in the Cabinet as Secretary of State for Culture, Olympics, Media and Sport from 2010 to 2012, Secretary of State for Health and Social Care from 2012 to 2018 and Foreign Secretary from 2018 to 2019.
Jeremy Richard Strachan Hunt. Alexa, how old is Jeremy Hunt?
Jeremy Hunt is 56 years old.
Jeremy Hunt said yesterday that he was in his 50s, and of course he is, he's an MP. He earns lots of money. He earns lots and lots of money. They get expenses, they get holidays, they live in nice homes. He's had a decent education. He's not a common or garden member of the public. Of course he's going to say that. He's making himself, oh, I'm in my 50s and yes sir. Yeah, well, not everybody is as fit, healthy and wealthy as Jeremy Hunt is. I don't know. I don't know what the hell is going on. I think everyone's gone round the bend, trying to get older people back to work when we should be training, educating and helping the younger generation get decent jobs, get decent homes, so that when they have children, their children have got a nice, safe place to live in, to work in and to grow. Why this is all backwards, wrong, and I disagree with it. It's absolutely ridiculous, that budget yesterday. Absolutely ridiculous. I mean, getting the elderly and the disabled back to work if they want to, there's no trouble with that. But don't force them, for goodness sake. Because it sounds, well, I'm not going to say anything, but I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. All the poor, all the elderly, all the disabled are going to suffer, aren't they? That's what I think. And it's not fair. And it's going to cost them more to get elderly people and disabled to try and get them back to work with all these courses than trying to stop the food prices going up and everything else. It's absolutely ridiculous. These schemes they concoct to force people to do things if they don't comply. Force them on courses. I've gone through that. They don't have to worry because they're rich and they don't worry about they don't worry about where their next meal is coming from or how they're going to heat their home or being forced to take a crappy job with very, very little pay because you haven't been trained. Some people haven't had a job for years, they haven't been trained, so they're forced to take cleaning jobs that don't pay any money, and they're worse off. Anyway, so I went out yesterday. I didn't enjoy it very much at all. I mean, it feels like people are trying to make me think I'm an elderly old lady that smells. And my mum doesn't smell. She has a bath. She's just old. And that's it. It's absolutely ridiculous. And on the TV, they're going back to what my mum, Jennifer, used to say. Recommendations. England, Ireland, you listen to the telly. England, Ireland, Scotland, Wales. Are you coming through? All my mum, things my mum used to say years ago. I just sit and I'm a quiet person. And I'm not Jennifer. I don't act mad. I don't talk to myself. And I'm not stupid either. And I'm certainly not deaf. When I go out, I want to enjoy myself, to have fun, to have a good time. And this happens when I'm with somebody. When I went to McDonald's, they were being rude when I was sat with someone. Laughing, giggling, being stupid, saying things like, oh, there's a smell in there. I could smell something nasty. And they're getting away with it. They're getting away with treating me like that. Which I'm writing to the Home Office because it's against my human rights. It's like these people are put in there, and it's staged to make me upset and run off. Because my father, Derek, used to dump my mother in car parks. She'd have to walk home and she'd be crying. That's not how you treat a woman, is it? Dumping them. Throwing them out in the middle of the road when, onto oncoming traffic. Is that how you're supposed to treat women, is it? Because that's how my dad treated my mother. He used to throw her out of the car while it was still moving. And every man I get treats me like that. They treat me like that. They hit me, pull me. They're rough when they want sex. They're rough. Shove my head down and maul me about. Because that's how Derek treated my mum. Sick and tired of it. It's got to stop. I'm writing to the Court of Human Rights. I'm sick and tired of it. And this morning, I wake up, feeling good, look out the window, car number plate, cow. Cow, not C-O-W, K-O-W, cow. got so much money that they were able to fucking lock me up in a fucking prison full of make-believe bullshit. A number plate cow. Crystal's a cow, is she? A cow. Exploited with no money. Thank you. See you later.